Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
He is the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska.
He's good at what he do.
Hey, Daddy.
Undefeated WBO lightweight champion of the world.
Hey, Daddy.
BoxingVoice.com.
Taking, any credit away from Errol, he's a great fighter. He's good at what he do. But when
BoxingVoice.com.
you compare him to Terence Crawford, there's no comparison.
It's a dollar beat.
I'm just a better fighter.
BoxingVoice.com.
Sit back and watch this. I promise you something. I promise you something. All that shit you talking don't mean nothing.
Don't mean nothing.
I can bump my guns at you, you can bump your guns at me, but at the end of the day, them two brothers got to get in the ring.
Hey, Daddy. It's a
BoxingVoice.com.
dollar beat.
We've been here before. You try to get there. Alright? I can tell you how it is to be undisputed. You can't tell me shit.
This a dollar beat. Hey, Daddy.
Y'all support y'all fighter. Let's come together, make this event a success.
BoxingVoice.com.
Everything about Terence Crawford is better than Errol Spence Jr.
BoxingVoice.com. BoxingVoice.com.
Boxing fans, are you ready?
Hey, Daddy.
BoxingVoice.com. BoxingVoice.com. BoxingVoice.com.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nesta Gibbs, solo dolo, Scarface, no Manolo, but it's okay though. We're here to kick off another great show, another afternoon show. Every day we're here rocking and rolling every afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here, Las Vegas time, 7 o'clock Eastern on the East. Now, I do have some unfortunate news. I mean, we kind of figured this would happen. Keith Thurman canceled. He did give me a call, though. At least he ain't let me find out last minute. He gave me a call, said, the schedule kind of got flipped upside down. And, our interview time is now turned into his gym time. So he said he could do tomorrow or the day after. I told him I'd confirm because got to make sure we don't got anybody on the afternoon slots either tomorrow or Friday. But he should be back. Shout out to Keith. But we are here to discuss his thoughts. It would have been great. I thought it was like magical, right? I'm like, yeah. We didn't get him yesterday, but we got him today right after his big statement. It'd be perfect. We could talk directly to him about it. So we'll talk about Keith in the second show. And then second show comes and it gets canceled. So, we're going to have to talk about the quotes and the words that are out there that he did say. And that's basically that it's a real unfortunate situation. I mean, Keith has taken a stance now since Crawford came out and said he'll never give Keith a shot. Keith has now turned his reply at the resume, and he's saying that basically that Crawford didn't really beat a real champion, that Spence wasn't who he was at the time, and it's got a lot of people in the uproar, right? I mean, I don't know why would he say something like that unless he really means it, but I don't even know why would he really mean that, right? Like, I don't feel that Spence wasn't a real champion. Spence was dominant. He was coming off of a knockout of Yordani Ugas, and he broke his face, broke Kell Brook's face, beat Danny, dropped Sean, shut out Mikey. So I don't know. Basically I watched the interview and he's saying he feels like any top welterweight would have did that to Spence that night. He feels he would have did that to Spence, but it's easy to say that, right? I mean, more importantly is can you actually do it? And the fact that Crawford actually did it in that fashion. And I think that Keith understands that he just has to, take some shots back because, he made it clear, whether it's this interview or one before this, that Crawford is the head honcho, that he's the top dog, and those are the words that Keith used. But we could all be wrong. This could just be both men building up a fight that they were told to build up. You know, there, if you want people to want something, tell them you don't want it, and then we gonna want it for you, right? Like if Crawford says he doesn't want to fight Keith, you're gonna get a bunch of people that's gonna say, "Hey, I want to see you fight Keith." I am gonna try and get heavyweight Federico Pacheco on the show, the younger brother of Diego Pacheco in the heavyweight division, trained by David Benavidez' father, Jose. And, we had him scheduled for 6, thinking we were going to have Keith. So hopefully we could push him up because I don't know that we're going to make it all the way to 6 unless the show picks up some steam here. And you guys are really interested in calling and giving your takes on, Thurman's latest rant. Um, you know, some people on Twitter made note of the fact that Thurman hasn't fought but once in the last 3 years, and Danny hasn't fought but once in the last 4 years, and that those guys are probably irrelevant in boxing right now, at least to the welterweight division. And maybe half of that statement is true because Danny Garcia isn't relevant to that welterweight division. And I'm sure when he said he thinks that a possible fight with Crawford can happen, I think he meant at 54 or above since he's already campaigning at 54. They got the common opponent in Jose Benavidez that Danny fought at 54, and obviously Crawford fought at 47. But you know, Keith is only saying what he's saying because he said this, he feels like he's being avoided, right? He said Thurman avoided him, and now he feels like Crawford is going to avoid him. And he said that's cool. Vacate them belts then. You know? I don't know where Keith falls if those belts get vacated. I mean, we got Barrios and Ugas fighting for an interim, so there's a strong possibility Keith and Cody Crowley could end up facing each other for the vacant, maybe. Maybe that makes sense in the eyes of the WBC if Crawford were to vacate those belts. Hmm. Speaking of Crawford, I don't know if you guys seen, but my good friend Mean Machine, shout out to Crab and Lobster, aka Cav Velasquez, took to social media to show himself punching Crawford in the face and saying on his post how he's the only one that gave Crawford a real fight, and he wants the rematch, bro. So my man that called the other day saying that Crawford is, getting into a desperate situation. Look, you got Velasquez now ready to give him a rematch or wants a rematch. You feel me? He's got options. Got Keith wants to fight. Velasquez wants to fight. There's plenty of options out there for Crawford. I just want to see Keith get back in the ring. And he made that clear. He's like, look, Crawford had a tune up. Crawford could have fought me. You know, he got a tune up. And I just want to be able to get a tune up myself so that I can, feel like I'm in the right mind state, got the timing right. All the stuff that you need when you about to face an elite level fighter. And he makes it clear. He points it out like you got that tune up with Avanesian. He doesn't call him Avanesian, right? He takes a shot, makes it seem like he doesn't know who the dudes is. I think he called him a nobody. But he said he was all lined up and ready. He said he could have fought Crawford anytime after that Barrios fight. All he needed was that one tune up, you know, that he's been ready. So we'll see, man. Keith needs a fight, man. I grew up on a little boy that cried wolf. That's what Keith is starting to look like. I was really looking forward to this interview because, I had some serious questions, man. It's like you're doing a lot of interviews, you're doing a lot of talking, ain't no action, you know. You want people to believe that you're still hungry, but you're not fighting. You're not physically fighting. And I've watched the interviews that he's done. He'll probably tell us something how he signed the contract to fight Earl. It's not his fault that the politics and the powers that be kept him away from that fight, which is true. But like, stop shooting for the stars. Then, just come get something to get back in the swing of things. Get yourself another Barrios. Then another Barrios type. Stop waiting for that big name. Get something to get back in the swing of things, man. So the tune-ups and rust, that's not an option. That's not a thing if we just get that out the way. And that's what's lacking. Like, look, he hasn't fought since February, right? Probably of the last year. So it's a lot of months out the ring to go in there against Crawford, who's sharp and active. And Keith made note of that. How active Crawford is. So if we're gonna get this fight, it's gonna have to be on an even playing field. I know that Keith don't have much room for negotiations here, but I mean to ask for uh, a tune up in between a super fight, I don't think is a big deal. There's plenty of people that Keith can fight in the interim. It would be great to put him and Cody Crowley on the undercard of Earl and Crawford. But everything depends on Crawford. What weight is he gonna campaign at? Is it still gonna be, 47, or is he moving on up to 54? Is he going even higher? Are him and Earl gonna do it at 60? Credit to the sources, man. As soon as we finished our show with De Los Santos and Shakur, it looks like that news was announced. I seen Coppinger come on out and state that that's official. And sure enough, I was busy with you guys on the show, but at 6:56, man, credit to De Los Santos trainer. He finally got back to me. Remember, I told you he was keeping me in the dark, but he finally got back at 6:56 a.m. and told me, yeah, he received the contract. So it's a done dunny, man. Like Shakur's tweet, I knew it. A done dunny, you know. But the phone lines are lit. I see you guys calling in nice and early. I love it. We're gonna get right into those in just a second. Let me just go ahead and make sure I got everybody's name and I can address you by your name by putting everything in there. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Phone lines are about to be open. The number to call 1-425-569-5241. Press one time. Voice your opinion right here. Voice of the People hotline. We also have Discord available for anybody who wants to use that, and Twitter Spaces as well. Khaled, Indiana, what it do?
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/The Boxing Voice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Khaled, what up? Khaled, going once in a 219. Okay, stay wavy. What up?
Man, how I'm sounding, man.
Straight.
I'm gonna say what you really want to say, man. All you boxers, man, acting Hollywood on my boy Ness, man. It's the boxing voice, man. It's the voice of the people, man. My boy Ness be going live damn near 7 days a week.
We lost
interview,
you,
man. Don't be canceling.
You there, bro?
Hey, Ness, can you hear me?
I hear you, but you kind of like going in and out.
Hey, man. All you boxers, man, that be fronting on the boxing voice, man. It's the voice of the people. This the #1 boxing channel on YouTube, man. We going live 7 days a week, 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. When y'all say y'all gonna do an interview, man, don't fumble and cancel last minute. Cause you know we look forward to the interview. You know what I'm saying? We seen Keith Thurman do 20 different interviews in the last 2 weeks. And you keep fronting on my boy Ness, man, in the boxing voice, man. I don't appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? He's nice, he humble, he nice, he gonna keep it professional. I'ma keep it real, man. Y'all boxers gotta stop fronting, man. This is the #1 box. This is the Breakfast Club of boxing. You know what I'm saying? This is the Power. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is it, man. This is the, like Power, the TV show Power. This is the boxing. You know what I'm trying to say, Ness? Y'all boxers gotta stop fronting, man. You know what I'm saying, Ness?
I hear you, man. I feel just like you.
Yeah, bro. Keith Thurman did 20 different interviews with 50 niggas in the past 3 weeks, bro. And you can't come on the boxing voice. Hey, Ness, you know why he don't want to come on? Because he know he going to get on that pressure. Pause. He know you going to ask the tough questions. He know you going to ask him why you ain't been active, why you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because Keith Thurman, you ain't been active, bro. You ain't been active, bro. Ever since, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but ever since Keith Thurman got married, bro, you a family man, bro. You're not that saying, don't dump me, son. Don't dump me, son. That Keith Thurman is gone, bro. You ain't got the braids no more. You got the Undertaker hairstyle going on with your hair, the Stephen A. Smith hairline, bro.
Damn.
Go ahead, man.
No. I'm just laughing.
No, I'm just saying, that's like, yo, Keith Thurman, you're not that guy no more, bro. When you was that guy, you should have fought Errol Spence. You should have fought Terence Crawford, but you decided to fight Manny Pacquiao, and after that, you disappeared for about 3 years, bro. Now nobody cares about you no more, bro.
But it's
you know
not
what
your
I'm saying?
time.
Subscribe, thumbs up. All y'all boxers, stop fronting on my boy Ness, man. It's the Boxing Voice, the #1 channel on YouTube. Let's get it, Ness.
Let's go. Yeah, nah, I mean, listen, man. It is what it is. It's show business. You know, we gonna keep chucking forward. We here a day for the people, by the people. I do want to give out these quotes here from Keith one time Thurman before we get to that next caller. And obviously, Michael Benson has clipped the interview that Marcos Villegas has already done and gave you the juicy parts. He puts Keith Thurman responds to Terence Crawford. You didn't beat up a real champion. I don't think that version of Earl Spence would beat Sean Porter. You didn't beat up a real champion. Everybody knows Keith Thurman wipes that Spence. He gets wiped by many people. Definitely go check out Marcos's interview. But here's a little fun fact. Keith Thurman has fought once in over 4 years. So let's make sure that's right? Because everything you read on the internet may not be true. So 2019. So yeah, he's fought once in the last 4 years. All right. So Calix boxing is right. Shout out. And he says Danny has fought once in almost 3 years. So almost 3 years. Let's see how close to almost 3 years that is. All right. And he's right. If Danny makes it to December without a fight, that means he's made it to 3 years completely without a fight. Let me scale back a bit so you can see that. Or zoom, move it over. All right, so there you go. So shout out Danny. But damn, he's got a minute he ain't fought. You know, that's the issue, man. Inactivity. I don't know how these guys want these big time fights with this level of inactivity like that. That's certainly not a good thing. But shout out to Calix. He says, this is getting embarrassing. There is zero demand for either one of these dudes anymore. And he put has-beens. I don't know that they're has-beens, but I do agree that I ain't gonna say zero demand either. I think that there is some people out there that want Thurman in that Crawford fight. I mean, his team sounds like they want it. We played that video of Bernie the boxer yesterday, and you know him expressing what he thought of um, Keith one time Thurman. Now here's Kavalaskas posted this 6 hours ago, and he put, after fighting me, Terence Crawford didn't have more real opposition in the ring. All those so-called top welterweights was just a walk in the park. Hashtag rematch with a question mark. And I mean, he's got an argument, right? Like, technically, he gave Crawford a better fight than Earl. That's his argument. Elohim James, what's up? Elohim James.
What's good, my boy?
What it do?
Chilling, man. Listening, man. I've been listening, man. Y'all so lit, bro. You just stay busy with these shows back to back to back, trying to keep up with all this information and be like overload, fam. But damn, my nigga Keith Thurman, boy, the voice of boxing is back. I don't know how y'all don't like that shit talk that boy be talking, man. Yes, my boy's been out the ring, man. But let's line it all up. He only has one loss, and it's to the great Manny Pacquiao. And he went life and death with that ninja, man. What are we talking about, man? Let's get Keith. Let's get Bud. How is all of a sudden, like, these fights not good for Bud's legacy? Beating Keith ain't good for your legacy?
I mean, we
Boots?
just showed the facts. Keith's been out the ring, you know.
What does that matter? It doesn't take away from who he was and who he is now.
But
he was a champion.
It's 4 years. He had one fight in 4 years. He needs activity. He had one fight in 4 years.
Man, I feel you, man. Listen, he could get him a fight, and then why not fight Bud, bro? Like, everybody Bud wants to fight is tied up, man. Let's keep it 100. So, like, him waiting around playing this guessing game, am I going to be at 47? Am I going to 54? Am I going to 68? Man, come on. I'm off it, man. Get in the ring and swing like my boy used to say when he called, bruh. Like, come on, man. You got good fights out here you can make and can still make your legacy nice, man. Thurman is a good fight. Boots is still a good fight. Danny even is a good fight. Yeah, he been out too. But so what, man? Like if you look at your resume, it don't really matter because
His
these
resume
dudes.
got the big fish. He don't need them dudes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying in that. But if you add them dudes to the resume, when we look down the road, they ain't nobody gonna say, oh, he was off 3 years when he fought him, or he was off 4 years. They gonna look at that resume like Alvarez's resume and be like, damn, that dude was fighting some people, boy. Like he must have been whooping some ass in his day. You know what I'm saying? So like, come off it, bud, man. I'm tired of all this parading you're doing now, man. Like, get off these radio shows, sign a contract, and fight. Like if you and Smith's gonna run it back, run it back. Get it in. But talking about all these other fights and other fighters, man, I'm off it, bro. Let's just get in the ring and swing.
I mean, he got a
I'm done.
rematch right now. Everybody talking about him. He just responded. You got to understand that was Danny and Keith talking about they would like fights, and he came out to just let them know y'all would never get a fight.
Man, but they wasn't even like pressing like they wanted to fight though. He made it look like that's what they was on. Like that they're clamoring for a fight with him. You seen Danny's response. You read it out. Danny's rich. He don't need the fight. Thurman don't need the fight either. But it's the fact that it's if you the cash cow and you want to swing that block like we could have back in the day, it's still here for you. Because there was no reason, honestly, that Danny couldn't have made that fight back in the day or Thurman. All that cross the street talk, we don't want to hear it because we done seen everybody cross the street. So I don't want to hear none of that, man. Add to your resume, bruh. Like, stop playing, man.
Word. Yo,
I'm out.
I might put some money on Edwin, man. He got this little funny confidence to him. Look at this shit. Shakur put the whole tweet. We did a whole show surrounding around Core's tweet, right? Which was be careful what you ask for. See ya in November for real now. Why the fuck Edwin De Los Santos? This must be Broadway. Joel, Broadway, we see you, motherfucker. Core gonna be on your ass, Broadway. Yo, he got this motherfucker in the F1 Red Bull helmet. He got Edwin De Los Santos in an F1 Red Bull helmet. Motherfucker, he want all the smoke. He ready for the big F1 weekend. That's funny as hell. If he upset Core on some Oracle shit, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. Might have to sprinkle, man. I can't believe he in this F1. I gotta send this to Danny. Did Danny know this shit? Who did this shit? Jay Billy? I'm retweeting this shit. Fuck all that. You gotta retweet that
Yo,
shit. What up?
yes sir. Shout out Ness. Ness, what's up, man? Keep ducking.
Who we ducking? Jay? You talking about Keith?
Yeah, keep ducking the
Nah,
interview.
nah,
What he
nah,
canceled?
nah. He said he coming.
Oh man, cause I was about to start going off, gang. I ain't
Not
trying to do that.
today
I was
though.
about
He
to
had to
ruin this.
cancel though. He did have to cancel though.
Ah, bro, he
Yeah.
ducking. Nah, he ducking. He done did this before. Oh man, I'm gonna come today. Nah, I'm gonna come next time. When's next time, bro?
He
You know what I'm
said. He
saying? He
said. He
ducking the
said. Can we
Lions
do?
Den.
He actually said, "Can we do it tomorrow?" I gotta call him back because I gotta check the calendar to make sure I don't double book. Like today, I had him at 4:30. Then I had Ronnie Shields. So I'm
I
about to
bet.
send him
I'm
the
gonna hold back.
schedules.
I'm gonna hold back. I'll wait till tomorrow night. But fam, like what? Earl, that wasn't a real fight. That's crazy because Bud won his biggest fight. You lost your biggest fight. You feel me? So you don't really got too much room to talk. Bud demolished his opponent in his biggest fight. You was out gambling the night before. Your addiction got the best of you. You feel me, fam? Like you don't got too much room to talk. Like what? And then the fight ain't gonna happen. Like Bud already said it. He already spoke his piece. You ain't gonna eat off my name now when I was trying to eat with you before. You feel me? Now you trying to gain some exposure off my name when I was already trying to break bread with you before. Now he talking all this shit. It's just crazy to me because if you really wanted to fight, y'all could have been did this. And it's crazy because Crawford already said this. Like he said this in the video with Spence when they was doing a little argument in the back room, talking about they gonna say he was too drained. He stayed at the weight for too long. That's basically what Thurman's saying right now. You feel me?
Oh yeah, he
Like that
certainly
wasn't.
is. Cause he know, but he doing that because he know that's how to piss off Bud. He, you
I
seen
mean,
it.
he
He
most
said it in
definitely.
one of the
If he's
tweets.
trying to get the fight, if he's trying to get the fight, then I see why he going this route. If you're not trying to get the fight, then I don't know. I just don't see why he doing all this that he doing right now because it really don't make sense. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like dude said, you ain't fought in 4 years. You think you about to get in the ring with Crawford?
Well, he
Like what you
fought.
think you
He
about to
fought
do against him?
once. He fought once in that 4 years.
Against Barrios.
That's
And
it.
what did you do against Barrios? You feel me?
He got a decision win, bro. Nobody ain't beat. I mean, like he did his thing there, right? No.
Hey, it's levels. It's levels. We just saw what Bud did against Spence. What do you think Bud would have did against Barrios? You think he would have got the UD against Barrios?
I mean, probably not.
Exactly. Not even a technical knockout. You
I
feel
mean,
me? The ref stopping the
it was
fight.
his
The
first
ref
fight.
stopping the fight in round 4.
It was his
His
first
first
fight
fight.
in a long time, bro.
Hey man, we ain't making no excuses. When you get in that ring, you better be prepared.
I'm just saying,
You
his
feel me?
first fight in a long time.
I don't know, man. I'm not liking this talk from Keith. Like Keith's always been a good talker, but it's like, bruh, like it's time to step up now. Like if you don't got to fight before the end of this year, then you can't really say too much. And I hope he come on the show.
Well,
I hope he don't listen to it.
he definitely said in another interview that he fighting for sure before the end of the year. But he said that before. He said that last December when he was trying to fight Crawford. So I don't know, man.
Hey, well, at the end of the day, now you in the position you got to wait on Crawford. He don't wait on. He not on y'all time no more. You on his time. You feel me? So if you want some bread, if you want a big fight, you gotta wait for me to drop the belts. You feel me? If you wanna build your name back up, you gotta wait for me to drop that WBA so Al can give you that WBA shot or that WBC shot. You gotta wait for me. And you're not about to eat off my name. We're not about to do this together no more because I tried that. You feel me? I extended my hand and y'all smacked it. So he really don't got no room to talk. Crawford can say whatever he want to say because he's like this is a gladiator sport. Once you get in that ring and you win, you got all the glory. You got the rep to really talk that shit. If you get in the ring and you supposed to take out the old dog, like pass the torch, what you been asking for, and you get knocked down and embarrassed like that, you feel me?
Bro,
It's
why you keep
Pacquiao. It's a
saying
legend.
embarrassed? Like he fought
Hey,
Pacquiao. Knock
Ness,
it
we
off.
we knew we knew what was supposed to happen
Don't
though. Ness, you should
nobody
be the
want to
first one
hear
that's
that
on his head.
shit,
You was
bruh.
the first one that was on Ness. You was Keith's biggest fan. You should be the first one on his head. You
Why?
know this because you was one of his biggest fans, so you should be one of his biggest critics also. It has to
Bruh,
be balanced. It
bruh,
has to be you. It has to be both sides.
bruh. Pacquiao is entitled to have a good night as a legend, and Keith is entitled not to be able to beat a legend. Like,
Okay,
so
and
what,
then what happened?
Ugas?
What happened in
So
the next
what,
fight?
Ugas?
What happened in the next? That's what.
And that's what I'm trying to say. So what Ugas did, what he did, that was the next fight. And before you got in this sport, they said you could get old overnight. Like Ugas got a different version, and Thurman got the latest best version that they was gonna be available.
Man, we already seen. We can do some film study on that fight. We can see. Just look at Keith, and you seen it was a different Keith than those other fights. The confidence wasn't there.
I
I
mean,
don't
of
know what
course,
happened.
you
I
fighting a
don't know. I
great.
don't know if it.
You fighting a great. He probably got caught up in the moment instead of just fighting.
Hey, but that's what you asking for.
And that's
You
fine,
can't
but that
beg
you
for
can't call
something and
that
then not be
embarrassment.
prepared for it.
You can't call that
Look, when
embarrassment.
you pray, when you pray for something, you also got to pray to for yourself to get prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pray for something to happen. You got to pray for yourself to get prepared also. You know what I'm saying? Like
I hear you.
it's levels. It's levels to this shit, man. It's a mentality. It's shit that you actually got to come strong in. And Keith, man, I seen it. Man, ever since that Danny fight, he ain't been the same. Elbow, 2 years. Now then Pacquiao knocked down. Then did he fight who? Barrios after that? Like, come on, bro. Now Barrios is doing more than what you did in the past 3-4 years. It's not adding up. You can't really talk too much. Like it's looking bad.
I hear you, but I don't.
Yeah, Nez, you should be the first one hearing me because, like I said, you a key fan. You should be the first one on his head.
Nah, for sure. I'm a fan. That's why, as a fan, I know that, when you're facing a legend like Pat, you might come up short. That might happen.
Yeah, man. All I'm saying is he ain't have no room for that. He ain't have no room for that, and
I mean,
especially if you lose your
tell that to
if
Oscar
you
De La Hoya, man, and everybody else that lost to Pacquiao. You feel me?
all right. So bet you lose. So should you not be the one showing grace? Should you not
Grace.
show some grace to the next?
What?
Yeah, show some grace to the next man.
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Where's the bell for this guy? I
Like,
feel like you've been here for 30 minutes.
hey man, like we just chopping it up. You don't got no co-host.
What?
You
I
waiting
got
on
hella
Ronnie.
callers. It's
You got to
hella
make it
call.
spicy.
Bro, it's like 30 some calls on Blog Talk. I see people over here on Twitter. I mean, we ain't even look at Discord. Look, there's one hand raised on Discord, and you just mad
Hey
hating on
man,
Keith.
it's just Jay. You know how Jay Billy go. Jay Billy is the truth
Yeah,
teller.
Jay
That's how
Billy
we
be
gonna run it.
hating. Jay Billy be hating.
Nah, man, I'm gonna tap back in though.
For sure. Who we got? Charles, what up, though? Don't forget we got Ronnie Shields coming on.
Yeah.
If you want to ask Ronnie a question, head on over to our Patreon page or our community page and go ahead and drop a question for him. What's going on, Charles?
Damn, Ness. I was wondering when you gonna ring the damn bell. I mean,
Bruh,
you know,
I forgot to ring the bell. My man was there for 30
Lord have
minutes.
mercy, man. I thought Jay Billy was your co-host, man, but he was
Mm.
saying a lot of solid stuff. But you know what, Ness? I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate this. I hate this. Speaking to the topic, man. You know, yesterday we talked about, how maybe it wasn't a good idea by Crawford, and I understood that. I also understood why Crawford did it. But I come back to say this. I know why Keith responded. I don't like Keith responding in this way because he hasn't been fighting. And the thing about it is, and I hope you can get him on tomorrow, Ness, because I know you're gonna ask the necessary questions. But you can't talk like that. And I get it. I get it. He gonna respond. He's trying to get a fight. But the thing about it is, it's like, man, he was supposed to fight Ugas. Then it was talk. I don't know
Yeah, but
about the
that's
boots thing.
Ugas. That's Ugas. I mean, you can see that that's Ugas. If the rumors and the
But
reports
hold on,
are
Ness. Hold
you
on.
gonna fight
You're
Ugas and
right.
Ugas fights the dude you beat, then it's obviously Ugas that don't want to fight you.
But I understand that, Ness, and you're right. But at the end of the day, Keith is still not fighting. That's
Nah,
my point.
I
He's
know
still
that.
not fighting. I'm not saying it's his fault, Ness, but I just wish that he's a great talker. And again, I came on here yesterday, and I'm with you, Ness. There's only a few of us that, Keith. People don't want to give Keith credit. Back when Floyd was fighting, Floyd avoided Keith. So Keith has only lost one loss. He's only lost to Pacquiao, a legend, which he should have beat because I think he can beat Ugas. But like you said, it was a different Pacquiao. But what I'm saying is, with all the great talk, the inactivity, man, and that's why we need him on the Boxing Voice because I want to hear about it because I know some of it could be his fault, some of it could not be his fault. But I just don't like this, and I understand why he got to respond the way he responded. But Ness, I just don't like it with the inactivity, brother. I just don't like it. It just don't look right. And he needs to get back in the ring because we need to know. We need to know if one time can still do what he used to be able to do, and we don't have any evidence, Ness.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope I pray and hope you get that interview, man, because I know you'll ask the right questions. And I need to hear from Keith. He may not give us what we want, but I do need to hear what's going on and why. Because two things, and I'll hang up, Ness. Well, number one, for all of us who kind of like Keith Thurman, we could say he was being avoided. But number two, now it's starting to look like he don't want to fight, Ness. So I'll
I
hang
mean,
it up, man. Great show.
all right. Yeah, I can't necessarily
You may
agree with
feel like
that.
it's your time,
You know, it's
but
obviously
it's not your
was
time.
Ugas that said to Al, like, yo, I'm coming off my face being broke. I just fought Pacquiao and Earl back to back. I don't want to fight Spence. That's obvious. Keith should have just said, well, put me in there with Cody Crowley. You know, put me in there with Batiev, Jamal James, somebody, damn it. Somebody. SDX Renzi, what up?
Shout out to you, Ness, doing what you always do, man, providing us with the premium boxing content. I ain't been on in a minute, but I've been listening, my boy. Hey, if y'all in the comments, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. Support my boy Ness. Shout out to Danny. Hey, shout out to the boxing boys. I just want to say, Ness, at one time, I'm gonna say it like that. At one time, I might have believed in one time, but it's been a long time since one time showed me that he could be one time, and that shit, you feel me, kind of out the window. I feel like Keith is talking. He really don't want that smoke. And if he do, he'll take the payday for that ass whooping he gonna get if he ever stepped in the ring with Bud. But at the end of the day, you really need to hit him with that sound bite when he do come on the show. You know, you might think it's your time, but it's not your time. You feel me? It's not his time. You feel me? If he wants something, they'll keep getting there with boots. Why you still ain't? I want. Why you still not wanting that one? Next. I remember when we first brought it up, he was like, "Nah, you ain't want that to keep."
I mean, just because I wanted him to have activity, but at this point, you're gonna have to fight somebody.
Okay. Say that again. My bad.
I said at this point you're gonna have to fight somebody.
That's what I'm saying. So shit, if that's the case, get in there with boots. That I feel like that would be a good. You feel me? If he show us something there, and that would be a good test for Boots. Let Boots get in there with him. If he do that, based off how that fight go, then we could be talking about what's next for Keith. But Keith got to, like you said, he got to step in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, I don't want to hear no talking if you ain't putting on no gloves and getting in that ring, because we need to see something from you, Keith. And like the last caller said, I hope he get on the call. And even Jay Billy was cooking, man. I feel like he had a good little minute of time, but it's just real. Like we just need to see something. Like you said, it's hardness when you've been out the ring so long. So for him to get back in there and be talking about guys who trying to fight 2 and 3 times a year, it's just like I just don't. It's just not good for him. You feel me? To be talking about putting on a performance that he gonna need to put on if he get in there in the ring with these guys. But that's my call next. I'm in the live, man. I'm listening.
All right.
Shout out.
Appreciate you, SDX Renzi. Thanks for the check-in. I just put the Ronnie Shields post in the live chat here on YouTube. So you can click that link. It'll take you to our Patreon. You can drop him a question. He should be jumping on any minute. If you're a YouTube member, just navigate to the community page and you can drop a question there. We should be getting Federico Pacheco after Ronnie as well. So if you want to ask Federico a question, same thing. Head on over to Patreon or to the community page, navigate to the respective posts, drop the question with your name and where you're from. This way, the guest feels good that they got people from all over the world asking them questions. We're going to go to Rob, North Carolina. What up?
Yo, what's good, Ness?
Chilling.
Hey, look, I like Keith, man. I used to be a fan. Like, I'm not too much a fan no more. He's a good talker. He could sell a fight a little bit, but he need to just sit down, man. Like, when When Keith signed up to fight Errol Spence at 154 for no titles, feel like that right there lets me know that you just looking for a check. It's about a check. You ain't fought in the longest. Like Mario Barrios, you barely beat him. You they set you up to beat Pacquiao. You lost to him. You damn near got knocked out by Josecito Lopez. You ain't had a knockout in 10 years. Like, you was 22 and old the last time you had a knockout. Like, my God, you're not fighting nobody. Like, at this point, you should be a gatekeeper. Like, you ain't even doing your job as a gatekeeper because you ain't trying to fight none of the young guys. So, really, I feel like at this point, he's just looking for a check. It's not about fighting for titles or belts. You know, Crawford is a big name right now. He's looking for a check, and he ain't did nothing to deserve the fight. Crawford's fighting Spence at 154. So really, realistically, if you're gonna fight him, it's gonna be at 154 for probably no belts. Which Crawford, why would Crawford even want to do that? Like, and so at this point, I feel like you should be fighting like one of the young dudes. Like, how you look? You what was that? Mario Barrios just got knocked out by Tank. They set you up to knock him out to put you back in the rankings like that, and you barely beat him. My God, like you don't deserve no
Rob,
big
let
fight. You ain't
me get to you in a minute. Looks like we got our first guest, Ronnie Shields, on the show. Ronnie, how are you?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I see, man. You've completely changed things up from the last time I was there. Obviously, I noticed that you've established your own team now, and you're taking on more fighters. But it seems like since the last time I've visited, you've gotten even more fighters. I hear Vito Milelecki's training with you now.
Yeah, Vito, we started yesterday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd that come about?
Uh, a friend of mine know his father real well, and they was looking for somebody, and they contacted me and asked me was I interested, and I've seen him fight before, so I know he was already a really good fighter. So I told him, yeah, man, come on down.
So what's your thoughts on him as a fighter, and what sort of future do you think that he has? I mean, that he's in the right division for sure.
Oh, absolutely. He's in a great division. Look, he's a young kid. He's only 21 years old. So it's not like he's an older guy. So we can take our time and move him along moving along at a pace where we know that, in the near future, he just got to get that experience to compete with the older guys and the bigger guys.
For sure. Now he's gone up to 54. Do you see him staying there or going back down with you?
No, I see him stand there, but I don't know how much longer he'll be able to hold that.
Hmm.
Because I mean, look, he's a young kid, man. He's growing.
Yeah. Hopefully that power translates and he can be a. Do you think his frame is fit for middleweight?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this kid is pretty tall, man. He's almost 6 feet tall now.
Uh,
So and he walks around like 169, 170 pounds.
how soon do you think he's gonna get a fight? How much time you'll have to work with him?
Well, I think we're getting a date in November.
Okay.
So it looked like like maybe early November.
And is he now relocated to Texas?
Well, I mean, they stayed in the Airbnb, and I mean, his father and one another kid came with him, and one of the assistants came with him. So yeah, I mean, you know, he's here, man.
That's good. Good. Justin Powell though picked up a great win. I know you weren't able to be there, but that gave an opportunity for the other trainers in your gym to shine. I got to see that on Pro Box. He did really
Yeah.
well, man. Were you impressed?
Oh, I was, and my sister training, she did a great job. Her name is Latrivia Pierce. You know, I used to train her when she was a fighter, and now she's my assistant, and she took care of business, and actually right out because Justin fought on a Wednesday in Florida, and I had another fight the same week on Friday, a couple of days later. She ended up having to come to 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 uh to Atlanta because I had a kid fighting on Friday night, and I caught COVID, so
Mm.
I couldn't walk the corner. I couldn't go. Yeah, I couldn't even go to the fight. I had to stay in my hotel room for the whole week. And she came in, she took care of business, and my guy got an 8 round knockout.
I hear COVID is ramping up, specifically in Texas. Jermel Charlo had a media workout that last minute he canceled and didn't allow media to get in for the fear of the spread of COVID. Um, how is that with training your guys and sparring? Are you back to making sure people are coming in with, I guess, clear test results?
Well, we haven't tested anybody, but I mean, everything seems to be well. Like I said, I stayed away from everybody for like 10 days and got retested again, and everything was good with me. And, everybody seems to be well now. So,
So obviously, one of the big pieces of news is that Ronnie Shields introduced Jamal Charlo to Roy Jones, and now Jamal's in Pensacola, Florida.
well, it's not like it seems, right? So, Joe Jamal has been having some problems, and I thought Roy would be a good mentor for him right now. That's what he needs, a good mentor. And, and he's doing some good things up there with Roy. I talked to Roy yesterday. I mean, I'm sorry, on Monday. We talked Monday, and everything seems to be good. I talk to Jamal like every couple of days. He's happy. He's getting some good workouts in, and he's doing some good things. He's getting a life lesson also with Roy, and this is something he needed. And he didn't need it to hear from me. He had to hear from somebody else. So this is why, I asked Roy to do this for me, and he was in agreement to do it. So that's why Jamal and his wife is up there with him, and his daughter actually, and his mother I think is up there with them also. So, but it's like you might want to call it an intervention.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, he's been out of the ring for a while. Obviously, outside life is more important. And, the boxing world is certainly happy to see him in good spirits. He did an interview out there in Pensacola and been smiling more than we've seen in a long time. So I'm just afraid Roy's gonna rub off too much on him, man. I seen some body work. They was doing what, heavy bag. He's showing him how to do that damn uppercut. He want to show everybody how to do that uppercut, man. I don't want Jamal getting down that low. He too big for that.
Like just whatever is going to get his mind back right. That's the most important thing. And and like I say, I talk to Jamal like every 2 days. We talk, and we have great conversations. I talk to Roy, and everything is going good. So Jamal is going to be Jamal always. And he knows what to do. He knows the things that got him to where he is right now. So it's nothing wrong with Roy showing him different things. I have no problem with that.
You spoke of taking your time with Vito Minelecki. Is it the same mindset for Jamal? I know we've seen some interviews and there's some quotes both from him and Canelo saying that he can be next. Do you think that's too soon?
Well, he's definitely going to fight before then. He's definitely going to probably fight in November, December this year. So,
Okay.
so definitely, You know, he just got to get his mind back together and get himself back in condition. And look, Jamal's going to be fine.
Are
I
you?
think more people are worried about Jamal than I
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's usually like that because we're on the outside looking in. But are you still working with Philip Hergovich?
am. Absolutely.
Okay, okay. So isn't there something cooking with him? Wasn't he? Isn't he getting the Usyk fight?
Yeah, well, he's the mandatory for Usyk, and so they, it's a complicated situation, man, because Usyk wants to fight Fury because
Mm-hmm.
he wants to be undisputed, of course, but Fury's getting ready to fight whoever, and and so they're going back and forth with the negotiations and stuff like that. So I really don't know what's going on yet, but I spoke with Philip just a few days ago, and he's waiting to hear what's going on also. So, his manager, is with talking with Eddie Hearn and is Soyerland, and they're trying to get things together, but they definitely want to impose his mandatory with the IBF.
Do you foresee that being what's next for Philip, or do you see an interim possibly? And I
No,
don't
I
mean
see.
interim title. I mean an
No,
interim
no, no, no,
fight.
no. I see that being next for him. That's what was promised to him. Is
As
that
early as when you think?
this could be as early as December?
Wow, wow. So you got Dominic, former champion Dominic Wynn in there, right?
No, no, he doesn't work for me anymore.
Oh, okay. So how? Because that's a you've been. You just said Vito November. You just said Charlo November December. Now you're saying Hergovich November December. I know you have. I thought you had. It was three of you. Now I don't know. Did you replace Dominic with someone else, or is it just you and? Say her name
You,
again. I'm sorry.
her name is Latravia Pierce.
Latravia. So is it just you and Latravia at this moment?
It's us two at this moment. Plus, I got other people come in and help out.
Okay. Okay, so we got Hergovich out the way. He's probably back end of the year. Jamal's back end of the year. David Morrell. There was so much talk of him fighting David Benavidez. Now David is fighting allegedly Andre. I spoke to Jose Senior. He says contracts are signed. Andre says contracts are signed. Where's that leave Morrell? Who does he fight now?
Well, they're working on that right now. So David, hopefully he get back in November, early December also. It's funny that they Benavidez, they wanted, they claimed they wanted to fight Morrell. So you know, let me go back a little bit. A few, after my first fight with Morrell, they wanted to fight Morrell. I said, no, man, it's my. I got one fight with him. Let me have a couple more fights, and then we can do it. So after Morrell's last fight, we said, okay, yeah, now we ready. So now Benavidez and his father come up and say, nobody knows Morrell. It won't do nothing on pay-per-view. So we will go look somewhere else.
Mm.
So,
So is the plan to try to build Morrell's profile?
well, look, man, David can fight anybody. He can fight right now. He's ready to fight anybody, even Canelo. He's ready for Canelo. He's ready for Benavidez. He's ready for whoever's out there. So it's not up to me to put him in with anybody. It's up to his management and his promoter to do that. So, I'm just waiting on the call just like everybody else.
He's with Louis the Cubas, though, right?
He's with Warriors.
Mm. That's the father, isn't it?
No. Well, yeah, his father
Yeah, that's
Leon,
Louis' father.
yeah, Louis father and Leon Margolis. They got
Yeah, yeah.
Warriors. So yeah, so
Okay.
definitely he's with them.
Did you see this weekend's fight? I know you're a busy man, but Mabili is coming up on those rankings. He's number 3, and it really makes him number 2 because Andrade will be eliminated fighting David Benavidez now. And then you got Eric Banazian and Christian Mabili. Uh,
No, I didn't see the fights this weekend.
have you looked at any tape of Mobili from Canada?
No, I haven't seen anything about him yet.
Wow. He's trained by I want to believe he's trained by Mark Ramsey. He's a big
Oh, okay.
puncher.
Yeah.
He just
Now
knocked
I
out
read
Lamar
about the fight.
Nicholson.
Yeah, I read about the fight. I did read about the fight, but again, I haven't seen it yet. So I'll go back and look at it.
Do you foresee that fight as a possibility? He's with Eye of the Tiger. He's a draw in Canada.
Yeah. David Morales a draw in Minnesota.
He's a big puncher. I mean, I feel like he's very wide, but he's so relentless. I wonder what country he's originally from. He looks like he
Yeah.
could be Nigerian.
Probably.
Oh, he's French.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cameroonian.
Cameroonian, yeah.
He's strong, man. I
Like
picked against him
like
though.
Saki Obika.
Yes, like Saki Obika. I picked against him. I thought that Nicholson, he's been proving all his career how durable he is, but Mobili picked up the stoppage. It was impressive. So, all right, we got the Morel. You got Yoenis Tellis, is another Cuban. Shout out to Tels. Is Tels?
Tez. There you go.
Tez.
You don't pronounce the L's.
Okay. Another Cuban boxer here. People calling him the next thing. Smoking out of Houston now that he's with you. What's your thoughts on Yoenis?
I love this kid, man. This kid is, he's a hard worker, and he's a really good fighter. Right now, he's fighting with Canelo right now. So he's fighting. He's going to fight a 6-round fight on that card. So
on the
we just trying to
Canelo
keep.
Charlo undercard.
Yes. He's going to fight a 6-round fight. It's not going to be on TV, so it's going to be off TV. But just to keep him busy, keep him working, we're going to try to get him this fight and then one more fight before the end of the year.
Wow, it's not going to be on TV.
Well, he's just going to fight a 6-round fight.
I'm saying, but he just beat Sergio Garcia. Like, that's a huge step up with 6 fights to beat someone that Fundora fought, and Tony Harrison beat.
But he can't get on television. I mean, with just a 6-round fight. I mean, why would they put him on in a 6-round fight? I mean, just a fight to keep him busy and keep him on me. Look, you don't take nobody lightly. That's number one thing. I don't even know who the opponent will be right now. But they sent me an opponent, to look at, but I haven't heard anything back yet on the opponent. But, with just a 6-round fight, man, I mean, hopefully they could put him on something. But, as far as I know, I don't think it's going to be on anything for him.
How many fights in are you with him?
I had 3 fights with him now.
So you had the Cameron Carell fight?
Yes.
What happened? And I only say that because it's like, wow, that's. I know Cameron. He's been around a while. That one he didn't stop him. I didn't get to see it. Obviously, it was in the Caribbean Royale. I'm assuming it's on one of those Jake Paul cards. But what was it? I mean, and shout out to Cameron. He just upset someone else the other day, actually.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the kid is an awkward fighter, but my kid had an injury going in with his hand. So we either pull him out or he just get in there and don't worry about just win the fight. And that's what we did.
Yeah, Cameron upset Sona Akel. Akel was just in a fight the other day.
Right.
So, I mean, that was a huge step up to fight Sergio Garcia. So, I mean,
and on 2 weeks' notice.
Wow, 2 weeks' notice.
Yes.
And whose idea was that?
Well, look, when the management called me, the Cuba Senior called me, and they told me about the opportunity, and and I know you have to know your guy. So I said, you know what? Let me look at him first. So I went back and looked at a few fights with Sergio Garcia, and I'm looking at my guy. I said, oh yeah, absolutely, this guy's going to run into something. So and I thought it was a great opportunity for my guy. So, and he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, it was his first 10 rounder, biggest name in
Yeah,
his career, and he blew him out. I mean, it's
yeah,
very impressive.
absolutely. But and the thing about it is, this kid, he didn't have no injuries going in. This is the only fight that I've been in with him that he no injuries. He's been having trouble with his hand for a while, and even when he first came to me, and so we start doing things, icing it, and just doing everything we could to make sure that hand was good. And even in the gym, man, I wrapped that thing up so good for him, and we had to get bigger gloves. I mean, everything. And he went in there, and he did what he was supposed to do.
So, who am I missing here? Who else do you have? What other secrets you got in that gym?
I got another Cuban named Damien Lexcal. And he's a Cuban kid. He's a welterweight. He just fought at Khabib also. He fought the co-main event a few weeks ago in his fight. And this kid is a southpaw, really good man. He's 6-0 now. He just won that WBA featherline belt, so he's going to be a good one to keep an eye on this kid. And then I got this kid from Greece. That's the one that fought in Atlanta. His
Mm-hmm.
name is Andreas Kaskarakis, 154-pounder.
Yeah, I think he
Really,
was
really good.
one of the. Didn't he win one of the bonuses on the OTX card?
Yes, he did.
Nice.
Really, really good fighter, man. This kid is something else.
Yeah, I remember that fight. He was very aggressive, right?
Yes, he is. He's very aggressive.
Yeah, I remember that
Absolutely.
fight.
He's
I
a
love
pressure
what
fighter.
they're doing over there in Pro Box, man. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
We needed
yeah,
that so bad. I mean, because
absolutely.
we lost boxing after dark. Showtime is barely doing any more show boxes, so we certainly
Right.
needed a developmental platform. I got a couple of questions here from the people before I let you go. Dre Bogus in San Diego. How did you originally get into training fighters?
Well, I was a fighter myself, and actually, um, once once I started fighting, I've been training fighters since I was 13 years old. I
Mm.
started boxing at 13, and then started training at 13 because, well, I'm from a little small town in Texas called Port Arthur, and we had about 30 fighters and about 4 trainers. So, you know, once they taught us each how to rap hand, how to rap, just with regular raps, not the guards, but just with regular raps. They taught us how to do that with that. Then, you know, they taught us how to do hand pads because it was just way too many of us than them. So we had
Mm-hmm.
to help each other out with doing the hand pads and stuff like that. So, man, I've been doing hand pads since I was 13 years old. And after I quit boxing, I started helping my manager, here in Houston. I started helping him with his fighters. And then Lou Duva came in and asked me when I start working with Georgia Benton. So, and that's how I got on with them.
Georgie Benton. That's legend.
Absolutely.
We
Yes,
got
indeed.
Rocky from Florida. Coach, when you train a fighter, do you tailor their style to fit your preferred style, or do you work with their style? Excuse me. Do you work with the style that they already have and make it better? Thanks.
Yeah, I try to work with the style that makes it better for them. If they have a certain style that they're used to, I have to work with that. But, you still sometimes you have to make changes. And, you just got to get the guy on board with making the changes. And I tell guys all the time, I'm gonna throw a few different styles at you. And whatever sticks is gonna stick. Is whatever don't stick, we're gonna just throw it out. And then we just keep working on that way.
I got Flacco from Cali. What's up with Charlo? Why is he not fighting? You've already answered that. And I got Trav FDY in Texas says, "What's up, Coach? You trained Jamel. You and Laura beat Canelo, in my opinion. How do you see Canelo versus Jamel playing out? I think Jamel is fighting Canelo at the right time.
Of course, he's fighting at the right time, and this is why I picked Jamel. I think Jamel, but he has to be smart. You can't just go in there and think you're gonna bulldoze a Canelo Alvarez. That's not going to happen. He has to fight smart. But again, I said before that Jamel has to use his fast hands. He has to box, but at some point he has to try to touch Canelo's body. Nobody goes to this kid's body, man.
Hmm. Coach, with all the success that Jamel has had, do you sometimes get frustrated that I feel like everything you taught him, he doesn't really use all the time? Like he's kind of changed his style. He was more of a boxer. Like I think about Jamel under your tutelage, and you guys years ago fought Gabe Rosado and Josine Alcine and
Yeah.
John Jackson. Like so many years ago, he was more of a boxer. Do you think he has to implement that older style where he is on his toes, not necessarily on a back foot, but more jab dominant?
Oh, absolutely, man. Look, man, sometimes you have to bring it back old school, you know, and we, he had some big wins with me,
Mm-hmm.
coming up. He fought all the best guys coming up. So, and he beat these guys, doing the things you know, that I was showing him to do. So, but sometimes, you outgrow each other. And that's what happened in our case. And I mean, we still talk all the time. When we see each other, we have, there's no problems there at all. So, but, and I always wish him the best. And I tell him that all the time.
But as a trainer, do you feel like he's loading up more?
Yeah, I
Meaning,
think he's loading up too much now. He, look, at some point, these guys, they want to get knockouts all the time. Boxing is not all about knockouts all the time. Sometimes you have to do what's best for you, because you can get knocked out too. And it depends on who you're fighting. You got to be really careful. But the good thing about Jamel is he holds his power late, and that's going to carry him a long way.
James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas. Lou Duva was quite the character. What's an interesting story about your time with Lou that you can share with us? The 1996 fight between Bo versus Gallardo, when Lou jumped in the ring and a riot broke out, was a classic.
Yeah, that's Lou. That's Lou, man. Lou fought for his fighters. He didn't care whether you was black, white, Mexican. I mean, he didn't care. If you was a Lou Duva fighter, Lou was gonna fight for you. And I seen this man. I mean, I seen Lou get into it with so many people. But that's just the way he was. And yeah, I was at that fight. I was at that fight when no, I'm sorry, I wasn't at that fight. I was in camp with Pernell Whitaker. So but we was watching it on TV, and we knew something was going to happen because when Andrew Gallardo, man, his mindset can turn at any time, and it did in that fight. So, but Lou, man, no matter what, you could be in the wrong. Lou will think you're in the right, and he's going to fight. He's going to fight for you. That's the way he was.
That's what's up. That's the kind of guy you want in your corner. I got
Absolutely.
Mike D from Virginia. Who's one sparring partner that you remember giving one of your guys great work going into a big fight?
Oh man, sparring partner. Oh wow, we had a lot of sparring. Well, I tell you one. When uh when Vernon Forrest came in, when Vernon Forrest first came, in the camp with us, he sparred with Pernell Whitaker and helped Pernell Whitaker for one of his fights. And I say, man, you got to be with us, man. There's no way you're too good not to be with anybody. And so Holyfield was helping Vernon at the time. And Holyfield told him the same thing. Look, man, you need to sign with main events. Simple as that. Because we need you, man.
Mm.
And I would have to say Vernon Forrest.
Coach, I don't know if you heard about the passing of Mike Stafford, and just
Yeah.
wanted to ask if you had any times with him and you can share any good stories.
You know, when Adrian Brono uh, first came on the scene, you know, I used to see Mike Stafford all the time. You know, he was such a great guy, man, and he he was probably one of the nicest guys in the sport of boxing.
Mm.
You know, and it was so sad. You know, matter of fact, the day he got killed, the day he died, I was on the phone with Kelly Swanson, and she told me that she just got the word that Mike Stafford died. And man, I couldn't believe it. You know, he was such a good guy, man. And, you know, and those amateur kids down in Ohio, they loved this guy because
Mm-hmm.
he always looked out for these amateur kids. You know, you could not get Mike away. I mean, he loved training the pro guys, but you could not get him away from those amateur kids because he always wanted to help these kids out. And he's going to truly be missed in Cincinnati.
Absolutely. He was a great guy to me, man. R.I.P. to Mike. We got New York Bullet. What's up, Coach? Blessings to you. As a respected coach with many years under your belt, what's a pet peeve of yours when training a fighter?
I can't afford to have pet peeves, man.
Mm,
I really and truly can't. I just try to be the same every day, man. I just, let them know I work hard, and I want them to work hard. And we just, I gel with every fighter that I'm with right now.
that's good. Victor Banuelos, what's up, Coach? If you can go up against any trainer, dead or alive, who would you pick? And of course, I mean one of your fighters versus one of their fighters.
Oh, well, I would have to say against Emmanuel Stewart because
Mm,
Emmanuel and I were good friends, man. We were really good friends, and I remember in the amateurs when I fought Tommy Hearns twice in the amateurs,
wow.
and we split 1-1, and from that time on, me and Emmanuel has always been close. And when I became a head trainer, I used to call Emmanuel up all the time for advice on how to do certain things. And
Right.
man, he was always there for me. So I would definitely like to would have liked to go up against him, you know, if I had to pick anybody.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Coach, that is all the questions, man. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Certainly look forward to getting you back on when some of your guys get some stuff lined up concrete. But we thank you for your time. Please give out social media of you and your assistant trainer.
Yes, you can always follow me at official Ronnie Shields.
All right, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Ronnie. That was world renowned trainer Ronnie Shields. That was a great interview. Thank you to everybody that participated and dropped a question there. We're going to keep these phone lines moving. We got Jay Will in Ohio. What is up? Jay Will, Ohio. Jay Will, Ohio. Tommy, Florida.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Got you.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. I'm glad you asked him the question do he think Jamel load up now? Because he definitely do more than he used to.
Yeah, I feel like he
Um,
certainly loads up, bro.
top
I s-
topic wise, and I missed the show last night on it. The the only thing I got to say about Crawford to me is, you know, he ain't. It seems like he ain't really the type of guy that admits the stuff, because I just want somebody, the next person to interview him, to be like, percentage wise, how much was it that the fighters didn't want to fight you? How much was it Bob Arum's fault? And how much was it because you decided to go back to Bob Arum in the first place? Because just interviews, I don't know in and out his business, but interviews, he done said, and he done admitted it, promoters do not want their top guys fighting other guys in other promotions. They rather keep the money in house.
Mhm.
Everybody does that. But then he'll say, well, those guys were ducking me.
Mhm.
And then you know, and then you say, well, Bob Arum couldn't get me to fight. That's why I'm suing him. So, like, what is it? Is it Bob Arum? Was it the fighters? Like, I never heard him really say, oh,
That's
I
kind of.
probably shouldn't have really signed back with him
Mm-hmm.
and da-da-da-da, because, all the PB, like he says in interviews, all the PBC fighters were fighting each other at 147 because it's 100 of them to do that. They didn't need Crawford to make a good fight. We all wanted Crawford to fight those guys, but business sense, he did not. Like, you stayed over there. His mentor, his guy Tim Bradley said it way before Earl. Like, nobody, you fight over there. I fight on top rank. We don't fight each other. Tim Bradley been said that. It just the
He always
term
said that
Earl
about
said was
Floyd.
you across the street.
He always said that
What'd you
about
say?
Floyd. Every time I would interview Bradley about Floyd, he was like, "Man, you know it ain't up to me. You know he over there. It's on them guys."
Exactly. So and it was a whole. I never heard him say. He was like, Danny's ducking me, Thurman's ducking me, Sean, Spence. He never said Sean. I feel like he didn't say that because he was cool and never really wanted to fight Sean, like he said in interviews. But
he also fought Sean, so he can't say he ducked him.
Yeah, but I feel like the main point before you let me go, I just feel like when Keith said you didn't fight a champion, that's probably just me. The performance Earl put on wasn't a champion's performance, but he did try to fight you last year after Barrios when he said, "Give me 8 months," and of course you said, "No, I don't want you. I want Earl." So you went your route, like you stood your ground, just like PBC and Al Heyman does. They, so. But that's all. I just want somebody to ask him, does he take any accountability for re-signing with Top Rank when he knows the business of
what
boxing?
about Keith? Because I know you a Keith big fan. What about Keith? Like, when does Keith take accountability? Like, bro, I ain't know, but my man only had one fight in the last 4 years. Legit 4 years. It's been 4 years. 2019 till now. It's like a long time.
All right, so
man.
let me respond to that. Yeah, he after the Pacquiao, he had the hand surgery and then COVID, which he stated. The hand surgery
But
probably
hella
was the
niggas
first
fought
probably
during
like 8 months.
COVID, bro. Hella people
Huh?
fought during COVID. That ain't an excuse. Hella people fought during COVID.
Well, no, he said they offered him the what is that? The guy Porter fought, but he turned it down.
Formella.
And Formella, yeah. And now that the time has
that's
passed,
a
we
tune-up
don't
though.
ask.
Like, that was a tune-up. Stay active. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
talk about
I agree
Crawford
with you.
fight
I agree with you,
Avanesian and then not stay active.
yeah, I agree with you. And he's taking accountability for that. And that Mill City interview that he did, he said all that. But when it comes to after the Barrios, he was waiting. Like in plenty of interviews, he said, "I'm the backup. I'm the fall guy." So
Yeah,
if
but he was the
Crawford
fall
and
guy
Spence don't
for
happen, which is
Earl, not the fall guy for Crawford. He was the
yeah,
backup for Earl.
well,
Like,
yeah, for Earl, yes, for Earl. So when it didn't happen in 21, they signed the contract. They were supposed to fight in March. When Earl got in a car accident, that gave him more time to hash it out with Crawford, and that's what they did. And I don't blame Earl for going that route at that time, but that was the holdup. And he said it in plenty of
yeah, but that's what
interviews.
I'm saying, and that's
He was,
why I wanted to interview him, because it's like, bro, but like, why you keep waiting on Earl? Like, even the fight was Earl was for 154, no belts. Like, it's like one of the callers said. So is Keith trying to like just make a paycheck? Like, is that what he want, his last paycheck?
what?
Because if you
Okay,
fighting Earl
yeah,
for no belts, what?
I
That's not
did hear a
nothing.
caller say that, but I feel like people are, if everybody fights for a check. Shakur Stevenson just proved that within 30 days. Everybody fights for a check. It don't matter what's on the line. It don't matter who you fighting. It's a certain amount somebody feels like they should get. Shakur just proved that. Frank Martin is proving that right now. So with that being said, When it came to 3 belts and a PBC guy, if that Crawford shit don't happen, Keith, we're gonna put you in there with Earl. Everybody's gonna wait for that. Like it ain't like nobody gonna be like, I don't want to wait. I just give me something. I don't want to wait. Cause then if you decide to go with that something, if which it did, it fell out. So Keith and Earl were gonna get in the ring, but then Earl got in that other accident that gave him more time to work it out with Crawford. So that's what happened. Win, lose, or draw, he was going to get in the ring with Spence before the accident happened, the second one. But I'm gonna let you get to some other callers. Yeah, hopefully he get on tomorrow. I'll see if he at the gym tomorrow and try to get him in there. But have a good night, brother. Shout out to TVV.
All right, champ. Thank you. Who we got here? Let me try. I done seen Cliff. You sent the counterpart. I mean, Khaled, what up? But you ain't even press 1.
Hey, yo, pause that.
What up, though?
What up,
Khaled.
guy? Hey, yo, real quick, bro. Yo, on the topic, I ain't gonna comment too much on the topic. I'm gonna just hopefully you get the interview tomorrow, and then we can get all that squared away because my man be talking. Nonetheless, man, I got a grievance. I have a complaint, and I'm looking for understanding. Here it is. We had an all access for one of the biggest fights of the year. We done had media workouts. Motherfuckers been talking shit, interviews. We just not gonna do a show. We done a all access show on Tank and Hector Garcia. We did an all access on, of course, Earl and Bud. We just gonna let the all access slide by. We not gonna have no conversation about it. Just like
it was
fuck it. We
supposed to
not
get
interested.
done. It was supposed to get done this Sunday that passed, bruh. It just passed us. It was supposed to get done. I've been had
All
that
right.
ready because that actually dropped Friday night. So
Yeah.
I just there's been bigger news that it's like, damn, do I talk about De Los Santos and Shakur being official, or do I go to the episode from Friday?
Yeah, I feel you.
It was just
I
a
feel
little
you.
bit
Okay.
tough because of the time, and then everything happened with Frank. That news was real big.
Yeah.
It's just been tough to slide
Okay.
them in,
All right.
but that's their fault. They too respectful. Don't nobody care about respectful
Hey, yo.
shit. We here talking about Thurman because he
Hey, yo.
out here lying, saying Earl wasn't a real
How you
champ,
doing?
but that's being disrespectful. So he getting our attention.
Yeah, bro, I'm with you, bro. This is what I gotta say on that. I think that at first I was with you on like Charlo being like the villain and all that, but I kind of like the approach of him acting like I've been here before, him being a professional, him like thank you for the opportunity, but still talking a little shit on the all access. I feel like that's just like that confident energy. Like I feel like it might have been a little more entertaining had he been like, man, fuck Canelo, hey, you should have been fought me. Now you here and all that. That would have been good for some entertaining shit. All right, cool.
It
But
would have made
I
people
feel like that's gonna
believe
make the
he
fight
ain't
better.
telling nobody the truth. So nobody don't know. If you tell him like, bro, I've been in his division, bro. What you mean? I was in his division. He left. I had a belt.
Yeah.
He ain't want it. He ain't even want to fight my brother. He afraid of us. Now we about to show the world why he afraid. Like that's gonna make me more excited.
That's fair, but Mr. Alvarez said it in the media workout that I heard him talking. I heard him and his brother talking shit. I ain't forget, and we gonna rectify that September 30th. So they talking about it. Motherfuckers heard him. Charlo said, "Yeah, man, you going down. I know what to do against you." He said it in the all access during like and I think that during like the weigh-in shit gonna get amped up. I think that Charlo finna amp it up a little bit. It ain't gonna get too crazy, but I think it's gonna amp it up a little bit. But nah, I like the energy where he was confident, focused, cause then I had to think back. Charlo ain't never really been like outside of Tony Harrison and all that. He really be chill. Like he gonna talk a little shit
Hell
here and
no.
there. He
You ain't
gonna be
see the
hyped up
Charles
and like
Hatley
confident.
shit? Motherfuckers try to kill Charles Hatley
Who?
and his team.
Oh yeah, I missed that part. Then I missed that part. I missed that one. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, man, I'm just excited for the fight. And when Charlo win, the call I give just clear out when I counterpunch. I might send $30 to just clear out. You know what I'm saying? Just clear out. Because I'm so confident in this fight that he's going to win. You know, nothing against Mr. Alvarez. I just think he's catching my man at the right time. Like, right time to do it. I'm tired of motherfuckers saying this is a fake fight. When we saw Sugar Ray move up, we saw Berto Ram move up to fight Hagler. Even though he lost, he gave him a good fight. We had all these. We saw Mr. Alvarez move up, and motherfuckers weren't saying all this shit. But soon as Charlo move up, this is a fake fight. This is an exhibition fight and all this shit. It's cool. I'm just taking notes. When he wins, everything will be addressed. But that's my call. I appreciate it. I don't need the free call. I'm good. I just want to get that information. You can carry on, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you, champ. Appreciate you. You guys know the number to call, 1-425-569-5241. Press that one button one time if you want to go ahead and rock out. You want to maybe voice your opinion. Give us your thoughts on today's topic. Who we got? Tyron, what up? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show.
Yo, what's good, champ? Shouts out TVV.
What's up?
Can you hear me, champ?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, man. What's going on, man? Hope everyone well listening in. I don't really care, you know what I'm saying, about Thurman. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, Terence Crawford went there and he did what he did with Errol Spence. Build up of the fight was 50-50. Now, since he won, it's all this and all that. At the end of the day, man, however you slice it, dice and cut it, they didn't get in the ring with each other, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Thurman, I feel like, you know, he dropped the ball. He ain't been active. And, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, Terrence going at Danny, it's like, shoot, Danny, like, he like, hey, he fight whoever they put in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I don't really care for too much. But picking off the back caller, though, I watched the media workout. It was cool. I like to build up with the Charlo and Canelo again. Like, Charlo, he's showing the respect, but he also focused. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he know what's in front of him. This is the biggest fight. This is like this the mountaintop. You get past this, you know what I'm saying, you number one pound for pound. Like, so I like this focus. I like the team that he got around him. He looked good on the media workout. Canelo, you know what I'm saying, he just, you know, went through his, you know, normal. He was talking a little, you know, smack. He was hitting the pass. He was like, yeah, this only 40% power. You know what I'm saying? And there was a asking him about what you gotta say, Jamel. He was like, I know Jamel is training well. He gonna need it. And so, I mean, I like the back and forth, but like the back caller said, I think definitely fight week is going to amp up. It's going to be a good fight. They was asking Canelo about the size, about Jamel moving up. He said, hey, man, I moved up 2 weight classes too. That's what got, and people got to realize Canelo moved up and down too. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like Canelo said, yeah, he's going to be big, but he's been there before and experienced. So I just feel like it's going to be a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I
So I
mean, I
think,
hope. That's what I hope. Feel me? The upset.
yeah,
I've been asking for that upset, so because that's what helps boxing. You feel
yeah.
me?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna get a focus, you know what I'm saying, Jamel, man. I think he gonna go in there and he gonna do what he gonna try to do. I like Guzman in there, and Canelo even acknowledged that at the press conference. So I think he's taking it serious, he's focused, he knows what's on the line. Looking forward to episode 2, man. Show on that if you can, champ. But that's all I got, man. Much love, TBV. Shout out to everybody listening. Everybody stay blessed.
Nah, for sure. We could definitely do a all access recap. I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
You may feel
Cause
like
I
it's your
certainly
time,
was gonna do a Sunday,
but
but
it's
since
not
we
your
ain't
time.
have no fights to recap, I just was like, bruh, I'm taking this day off. Took the Sunday for me. Who we got? Nike Hendricks, what up?
Shouts out to the boxing voice. Shouts out to Nez, Danny,
Coach Ronnie Shields, who came on, gave us that good info. You know, man. Real quick, I tried to call in earlier, but I missed it. I'm gonna stay on topic, but real quick, like I always said, this Shakur, third time dropping the ball, fighting De Los Santos. But back on topic with Crawford and Thurman. Thurman, man, like the callers were saying, man, like it's either you become that gatekeeper or you put up a shut up and just, get in that ring with somebody, even if it's not a Crawford, a Boots, a Earl, a Danny, like it at least be, one of them top 10 guys in your division. Cause it's like, man, I like Thurman. He a good ass fighter, man. Like I like him as a fighter. Like he a good fighter, but it's been too long and he been too inactive. Like I mean, he get in there with a live dog and he ain't been active or nothing. But I know like a fighter is a fighter. Once they get in there, like if they still got it, they gonna show it. If they don't, it's gonna go away. But I feel like he need to get in there with one of them top 10 fighters at 147. If it's not the Dannies or the Boots or the Crawford or even Earl is still the top dog at 147. Shit. I mean, I I don't see him fighting anybody else on a Barrios level because that's a step down. Like Barrios was his get back fight. I get that. But damn, now you need another get back fight? Like you can't keep going backwards, Keith. You gotta keep stepping forward. And I know you're listening to the podcast, cause like one of the callers said, shit, Ness one of your biggest fans. But he one of your biggest critics too. So that's what I like about you, Ness. You're gonna keep it real. So shit, man. I just hope we get a good fight from Thurman. A good fight against a good fighter on this comeback fight, cause I don't see him getting that Crawford fight because Crawford trying to go after Charlo or Canelo. Shit, Thurman got nothing to offer him but a name. I mean, Thurman would be a good ass name on his resume, but that's all. No belt to offer. Is no money in that fight. I mean, Thurman got a mouthpiece, but he ain't gonna be that much money in that fight. So I hope he get a nice good fight back
You may
so he
feel
can
like
be
it's
in
your time,
contention.
but it's not your time.
Yeah, man. I mean, that little fun fact we learned today about one fight in 4 years, that's just tough. Big Bay Cornell, what up?
Alright, so hockey, like, but at the point right now where it's like, it don't matter who he fight, they gonna talk shit after the fight is over, as if whoever he fighting wasn't the best version of them. So it don't matter. Right after Crawford beat Spence, I was chatting like, oh, he could chase Mayweather record. This is his chance to do it.
Word,
So if I was
man.
him, I would exactly. I would go beat up Thurman and Danny Garcia back to back just for fun, just the stat pad.
Just to stack the
That's it.
resume.
That's it. Just to stack these stats up. Give me some wins on there. Go
Yup.
ahead and do it. They already gonna talk shit. If you beat Spence, they say he wasn't Spence. You're gonna beat Keith Thurman, they're gonna say he wasn't Thurman. You're gonna beat them. They already gonna say that. You fight Charlo, they gonna say he already was damaged by Canelo. You fight Canelo, they gonna say he wasn't the same Canelo with all the head movement, he was on the decline. You beat anybody, they gonna talk shit, Crawford.
Word.
Go ahead. Beat these dudes the fuck up. Go ahead and stack these stacks. Beat up Thurman, beat up Danny Garcia just to get closer to Mayweather record. They're already comparing you to the GOAT. So that's how I would play it if I was him. I would go beat these dudes up just for fun.
I'm with
Literally,
you.
like.
I'm
So yeah,
totally with
that's
you.
all I gotta say.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm like, yo, beat the Jamal James. You sprinkle them in. You do hard, Like, all right, right now you just fought Earl. If you got to do the rematch with Earl, you do the rematch with Earl. Next fight, it's like Danny, hometown fight for you. Danny the B-side, he got to come to Omaha. Next fight, Thurman, got to come to Omaha. Next fight, Cody Crowley. Let's go. Then throw in Boots. After Boots, you feel me? We look for some more people. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of welterweight fights though. That's a fantasy dream right there, whatever. You feel me? But some of them ain't welterweight fights, right? Like the Keith and the Earl. I mean, the Keith and the Danny, we could do those at 54. But that's the thing. If this rematch is at 54, then he might as well do Danny Thurman at 54. You know, I'm with you. I'm with anybody that wants him to chase that Mayweather record and try and break it. Like I think that, I've been said that. I don't know why he don't got no energy for that. But I got two super chats. Thank you, Q from Newark, $5. Please tell me when Keith supposed to fight Bud and Spence. Was it when he fought
You
Porter,
may feel like it's your
Danny,
time,
or Pat?
but it's
Because
not your
those
time.
two were not bigger fights at the time. Nah, I mean he was supposed to fight him after those fights. I mean he got one fight in 4 years, so he could knock both those fights out. Mad Bet with $5. He said daily dose of Tank Will based on accomplishments. Keith should be fighting Bud Tank, the boxing messiah. Yeah, I mean based off accomplishments, but it's more like what have you done for me lately? Like we can't be just giving Keith big pay-per-view fights because he used to be a name. Like again, one fight in the last 4 years. That stat can't be forgotten. Next GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch me on the next one. Appreciate you guys rocking out with me. Remember, this is an everyday thing, all right? So we're gonna build this up. You guys gonna be able to call in every day. We go live at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Central, as well as the Breakfast Club of Boxing, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Keep it moving. $2. Is Bud the fighter Keith was supposed to be? Question mark emoji, and then we got a thinking emoji. I mean, I guess Keith was everything until he stopped being what he was. Catch us on the next one. Peace.